The times are full of shocking occurrences which bring disorder to all of society. You cannot combat the times alone, and all those affected are too confused to react appropriately. Retreat is the best course, although it may bring criticism from others who do not comprehend your actions. Welcome to you, wherever you may be. I have two passages from Views from the Real World today, and quite a lot of other material. Last week, feeling I needed a break, I went up on the hill here, and there's a paddock with a few horses in it, and I leant on the old stone walls, and felt peaceful being with them. I can feel how they move. I can experience their moving center. Their rhythm and the way they move their large bodies is different than to us. It must be that their centers are radiating and that I can experience what they radiate. These are senses that are not used by people today, or if they are used somewhere, they are not remarked upon. What is remarked upon is part of the living mental culture of a society which can fall independently of the actual functioning inside of them. The heaven falls first, and it rises first. Last week I talked about printing via subtraction and printing via addition from a white substrate or from the darkness. Humanity as it is born far away from its essence. There is always energy that flows into us and flows out of us. But depending on the quality of human society in this particular era, the position of recognition that human beings occupy, the state of consciousness, if you like, moves either further towards the drain or, in better times, further towards the source. In this era, humanity has opened up many entropic currents that drain the energy of people, and as a result, the quality of their being part of Gadol duty is reducing, their sensitivity is reducing, and the position of their consciousness has shifted down the pipe so it is almost at the outlet of the river. We live ordinarily, with only a very minute part of our functions and our strength, because we do not recognize that we are machines, and we do not know the nature and working of our mechanism. We are machines. We are governed entirely by external circumstances. All our actions follow the line of least resistance to the pressure of outside circumstances. Try for yourselves. Can you govern your emotions? No. You may try to suppress them or cast out one emotion by another emotion, but you cannot control it. It controls you. Or you may decide to do something, your intellectual eye may make such a decision, but when the time comes to do it, you may find yourself doing just the opposite. Yes, and most people don't notice. And they don't notice because they're in a society that no longer has much of a purpose. And that is the modern world, where people live for pleasure, for consumption. Things get faster and faster. Nobody questions it anymore. In fact, I was reflecting this morning, thou must not steal, which I think is meant metaphysically. One should not go out of oneself into something else. Because the part of the universal consciousness that is born inside our own machine is us, is our possibility. And in order to grow and to flower, we have to rest within our own machine and develop its abilities. It is through this machinery that we bring the qualities of the soul to light. Traditional society, which was still very much evident when I was born in the 1970s in London. There was respect for elders, there was respect for British people, there was respect for the government, for the law, for the institutions. Even inside the prison system in England, there was order. There was order all the way from heaven, through the king, through the parliament, through the institutions, through the professions, and even into the prison system and probably into the brothels as well. All the way down. That is a real society. It's strange to look back at traditional Europe, to how people talked. They talked very seriously about God, about sacrificing oneself, about following Christ up Calvary. But the reason why they did that is because the order of the traditional societies they were born in allowed their ordinary life, the life of their family, to simply proceed quite easily. You did what your ancestors did, the king looked after the country, the police marshalled the street, the post office was run by the country, and everybody had an order and a reason and a meaning, and things just worked, and you could consider then quite serious matters about your position in the universe and your relationship to God, and you could follow that as well. No longer. The only thing they consider real is fighting against everybody for dollars. And that's it. And they call that being real. I did some separation exercises as I was walking along, resting within myself and then entering the moving center, and then the center of will, and then finally the spirit, the horse. And the horse is quite difficult to capture because it is large and it has a very different quality because it's reconciling. It has a new sense of identity in a different world. What I noticed is that when I started to do these exercises, there was a tint of fear came over. And if I dropped it and lived mechanically, the fear went. And the fear actually relates to a kind of identity problem. When you start to work, you start to protrude forward and actually manifest your will. There's an existential problem that is created there because you're doing something new. And fear is born there. It is an identity issue. And the fear, the negative manifestation, should, if we're wondering how to live, it should be immediately reconciled. And another thing that I have been doing is to learn how to forget. Every time I walk outside the door, there's another crazy thing going on the street or on the seafront or in town, or these people or that people in their garden, on their walls, everywhere. A lot of it's quite shocking, quite ugly, quite frightening. And my practice is to instantly forget it, to just drop it. These people are in their right place. They are people of this world. This is their world, and fucking it up is what they do. And that's what they're meant to do. I am the problem because I am leaving. I've been thinking again about non-action, non-interference, and non-interest. The wise are impartial. They see people as straw dogs. The material forces create endless dramas, endless conflicts, endless insincerity. It's almost like the energy flows so fast through their head that their eyes cannot actually see what is in front. And this fast flowing obscures what the eyes can actually see. Seeing, they see, but do not perceive. Hearing they hear but do not understand. Now let's go back to Gurdjieff. He says, "Go out one clear starlit night to some open space and look up at the sky, at those millions of worlds over your head. Remember that perhaps on each of them swarm billions of beings similar to you or perhaps superior to you in their organization. Look at the Milky Way. The Earth cannot even be called a grain of sand in this infinity. It dissolves and vanishes, and with it you. Where are you? And is what you want simply madness? Before all these worlds, ask yourself, what are your aims and hopes, your intentions and means of fulfilling them? The demands that may be made upon you and your preparedness to meet them. A long and difficult journey is before you. You are preparing for a strange and unknown land. The way is infinitely long. You do not know if rest will be possible on the way, nor where it will be possible. You should be prepared for the worst. Take all the necessities for the journey with you. Try to forget nothing, for afterwards it will be too late, and there will be no time to go back for what has been forgotten to rectify the mistake. Weigh up your strength. Is it sufficient for the whole journey? How soon can you start? Remember that if you spend longer on the way, you will need to carry proportionately more supplies, and this will delay you further, both on the way and in your preparations for it. Do not reckon on trying to come back. This experiment may cost you very dear. The guide undertakes only to take you there, and if you wish to turn back, he is not obliged to return with you. You will be left to yourself, and woe to you if you weaken or forget the way. You'll never get back. And even if you remember the way, the question still remains, will you return safe and sound? For many unpleasantnesses await the lonely traveller who is not familiar with the way and the customs which prevail there. Bear in mind that your sight has the property of presenting distant objects as though they were near. Beguiled by the nearness of the aim towards which you strive, blinded by its beauty and ignorant of the measure of your own strength, you will not notice the obstacles on the way. You will not see the numerous ditches across the path. In a green meadow covered by luxuriant flowers, in the thick grass, a deep precipice is hidden. Do not forget to concentrate all your attention on the nearest sector of the way. Do not concern yourself with far aims if you do not wish to fall over the precipice. Yet do not forget your aim. Remember it the whole time and keep up in yourself an active endeavour towards it so as not to lose the right direction. And once you have started, be observant. What you have passed through remains behind and will not appear again. If you fail to notice it at the time, you never will notice it. Do not be over-curious, nor waste time on things that attract your attention but are not worth it. Time is precious and should not be wasted on things which have no direct relation to your aim. Remember where you are and why you are here. Do not protect yourselves, and remember that no effort is made in vain. And now you can set out on the way. Okay, well, a couple of last bits. I was in the kitchen the other day and feeling very calm, and I suddenly had an urge to think, and I could see that it was self-calming. When you think, it creates a double, a second you who is speaking. There is you, and there is that voice who is speaking. It's splitting. Just like that tint of fear I mentioned at the beginning. I wanted to have a look at the Enneagram again. There are a few things that are really confusing to me. These are from Ouspensky's book. In one of them, the first day, Monday, is at 1. But then he starts Do-Re-Mi at 9. I'm really not sure what this means, but I always refer to the sense that you have when you're working. And Monday is, let's get going, strong coffee, let's do it. That's the energy of Monday. Tuesday is the hump day, denying. You drag yourself through a Tuesday. Tuesday is a long way from the weekend and you have to drag your way through it. Wednesday is very interesting because it goes unnoticed and slides through the middle of the week. But the interesting thing is that Sunday, day of the sun, is also affirming, like Monday. So I suppose the affirming energy of Sunday is somehow pushed over to initiate the working week in the temporal world. But then I don't understand why the do of the do-re-mi is put at 9. The other thing is that the Wednesday is put at 4 after the first vertex. I would put it at 3 because Wednesday is the day when reconciling is happening. It's not that reconciling happens before Wednesday, or is it? It's very easy to fall into the idea that they represent days. But of course they don't. They represent energies or energetic phases, I think. I would instinctively put Wednesday at 3 and then leave 4 blank, because 4 is the day where the reconciling drifts through. And because the reconciling is happening on a Wednesday, it has to be the vertex of the triangle. But I'm probably missing something here. And there is something else which is confusing also. When you think about Monday, you probably think about the daytime, but actually Monday begins just after midnight the night before, of course. So if the digit 1 represents the beginning of Monday, then it changes your perspective again. I'm not sure what all of this means. But maybe understanding it as the sun being spiritual, initiating the affirming in the temporal, can help to clarify. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Take care.